Hi everybody. Welcome to a short video on how to access feedback through Turnitin. So obviously this is the dashboard. Hold on a second. There we go. So click on our class. I think the easiest way to get your feedback is to, you see this navigation bar over here. This is the home page with all the modules. I have minimized some of them. I think the easiest thing to do is to click grades. So I'm going to click grades in a second, but I can't show you the whole screen, so 1 second. Okay, so when you click on the grades screen, you'll only see your own name. Obviously, I'm the professor, so I see a list of all of your names. But you'll be looking for the assignment that says Essay 1 Complete Draft. And so this is going to be that right here. So I'm going to pause it again and switch the view. Okay, so I changed the view a little bit again. I'm only showing one student right here, so this could be your name. This is Lisa Ong. She's a student in the class this semester, and I have her permission to do this. So the way that you access my feedback, so you'd be looking at your own name, go to this corner right here and click this green kind of box. It looks kind of like a comment box. So your green box might be different colors. This is related to the similarity index of your computer or of your essay. So as you know, Turnitin checks your essay for matches against online sources and other essays. So your box will most likely be green. It could be yellow. Not a big deal. So I'm going to click this box. Okay, so when you click this box, then that green comment box, this shows up. And so this right here, this is the originally submitted file. In this case, this is the file that Lisa named her essay, Essay 1, Tiger's Bride, Ong. This is where you want to click to take you to Turnitin. So this will take you to Turnitin, and this will take you to where you can look at the rubric and where you can look at my comments on your essay. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and that'll change the view in a second as well. Okay, so here we are in what is called the Feedback Studio. Again, we're looking at Lisa Ong's essay, and this is her file right here, The Tiger's Bride. Let me show you how to navigate this a little bit. So the default view right here, so you see this with the number 4 highlighted in blue, the number 11 highlighted in green, the number 5 highlighted in green. These are, this is Turnitin detecting similarity with other essays. So this is not particularly important. In fact, it's a little distracting. So the way that you turn these layers, the program calls them layers, on and off is over here. So right here, this is the similarity layer. So if we want to hide it, click that. If you want to bring it back, we click that. Okay, so I'm just hiding it for now. If you want to look at the instructor comment layer, the instructor feedback layer, we click this. Okay, so Lisa's essay we might use for an example at some point in the future, but these comments right here are comments that I leave, and I'll switch to a different student's paper where you can see some more like substantive comments that kind of point to where there should be some improvements. But for here, these are mostly like, hey, nice job, this is cool. Here, like if you want to read a comment, click on it. So here I wrote, great intro and thesis, don't forget to underline your thesis. Down here, this is highlighted, so this comment here applies to all this highlighted text. I wrote, so I create these, you know, and so I do my best to be like encouraging on your essays as well as tell you areas you need to improve. So I wrote, good point here, nice job. And this little like talk bubble here, this means that there's more to read. So good point here, nice job. And I said, nice job calling out the first person point of view as an important element of the story. And you click back on the paper to close that. Nice transition. So notice there's no talk bubble here. This is just all I wanted to say. Nice transition between father and however. Another comment here. Nice choice of quotes here. Nice observation. Simple, nice. comment about this, calling out the Marxist reading. Perhaps it needs a note of explanation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so you have these kind of comments on your essay too. Okay, now I want to show you how to get to the rubric. And so here's the rubric. It looks like this little grid. This brings up the rubric. So I didn't grade hers yet. I'll show you one later. You can also click here to view instructor feedback. Under this instructor feedback, sometimes there'll be a voice comment, but more often there'll be a text comment here. So make sure to click through these on your own paper to see if I left any of those. Okay, I'm going to switch to a different student's paper so you can see some examples of more substantive feedback. Okay, so this is an example of some markup I might do on another student's paper. And so this is pretty typical. This is a cool place for me to look at. This was a good paper overall, but here was an area where I had a few things to say, and it shows a bunch of different types of comments that I might write. So we have this kind of inline comment right here. Remember to underline topic sentences. No big deal, but I'm reminding you here. We have the highlighted text here. Need more context from the story. This was a pretty common thing for me to write. Sometimes you guys would present examples from the story as if the reader kind of knew the story when really you were kind of jumping around. So need more context from the story, that's what I mean. So notice with this bit of highlighted text right here, there needed to be, I needed more support from the text. So here the author makes some observations or assertions about the text, but doesn't support them with evidence from the text. So this would be things from the story that kind of support the argument that she's making. Here I wrote need to integrate the quote. That was another thing I would write a lot. So we have the sentence ending right here, and then the quote starts here. The kind of thing that would go here would be, hold on, I'll pause it, I'll write something. So here, when I say introduce a quote, it could just be something like, beauty describes that I let out a raucous guffaw, which no young lady laughs like that. Okay, so I'm going to switch views again, and then I'm going to show you what a filled out rubric looks like. Okay, so what you see here is a view of the rubric. This particular essay has an 89, a good final grade. So there are these slider bars that I apply to the essay, and if you look up here at formatting, these are all the different possible scores, right? So you can just scroll up and down here for formatting, right? So formatting. So the formatting is excellent. Formatting for the observation is correct. All headers present in the proper format. MLA formatting is present and close to perfect. Same for noticing. You click here, it moves to noticing. You can kind of match these up and read. Commentary, same thing. Scroll this whole thing down. Looks like explanation is one of the areas that this person needs to work on. So I wrote, explanation is present but lacking in development or doesn't support the observation well. So obviously this is still a really good essay, again at an 89, but explanation is something that the writer needs to work on next time. Conventions are good. Most conventions of academic writing are present, but there may be a few errors or missing elements, missing transitions between sentences and paragraphs, lack of signal phrases, incorrect MLA format. So your guys' job when you read these rubric scores is to read them over, look back at the paper, see what you can improve, and apply that to next time. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And that's how you look at your feedback on Turnitin.